We're gonna do a little stretch flow in the beginning, so raise the arms up overhead. Then we'll exhale, bring the arms down to the floor. Then we'll inhale the arms up a little bit to the knees. We'll exhale, come back down to stretch those hamstrings. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lower down. We'll inhale up to upward dog. And then exhale back to downward dog. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths, getting a nice stretch into those calves and hamstrings and into the upper back. And we're going to repeat this for 5 times. At the end of those 5 breaths, we'll step back forward and we'll start for the second round. Raise the arms up overhead, reaching tall. You can get a slight bend in the upper back if you'd like. Then we'll exhale, bring the arms down to the floor. Then we'll inhale the arms up a little bit to the knees. We'll exhale, come back down to stretch those hamstrings. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lower down. We'll inhale up to upward dog. And then exhale back to downward dog. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths, getting a nice stretch into those calves and hamstrings and into the upper back. And at the end of those 5 breaths, we'll step forward for the third round. Raise the arms up overhead. Then we'll exhale, bring the arms down to the floor. Then we'll inhale the arms up. We'll exhale, come back down to stretch. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lower down. We'll inhale up to upward dog. And then exhale back to downward dog. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths, getting a nice stretch into those calves and hamstrings and into the upper back. And we'll step forward for round number 4. Inhale the arms up, stretching up through the back. Exhale the arms down. Inhale, hands to knees. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, we'll step the legs back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to upward dog. And then exhale to down dog for 5 breaths. Pressing back through those hands, sitting deeper into the shoulders and upper back. And then we'll step forward for the last round. Inhale the arms up, stretching up through the back. Exhale the arms down. Inhale, hands to knees. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, we'll step the legs back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to upward dog. And then exhale to down dog for 5 breaths. After this down dog stretch, we're just going to come into pigeon pose for both sides. So please feel free to do this as you like. You can either stay up tall like this to get a nice stretch into those right hip flexors and the left piriformis muscle, or you can lower the upper body back down over that left leg to get a little more stretch into that piriformis. I transition into both ways during this flow, but please feel free to do it how you feel is best for you. I love this stretch, so I alter between the 2 positions for as long as it feels good. Please feel free to stay here as long as you'd like, or as short as you'd like, or to add in some other of your favorite stretches to do during this time as well. Okay, and we'll switch sides here. So now we'll have the right leg forward and the left leg back. And again, I start with my upper body upright here to get a little bit deeper stretch in the left hip flexors. Then I lay down across my right leg with my upper body to get a little bit deeper stretch into that right piriformis muscle. And there are many other great stretches we can do, but we're going to jump into some hypopressive training. So get ready for that. We will start on our back. So in this position, your heels are pressing into the mat as well as the palms are pressing into the mat. Ankles are active and you're trying to grow through the crown of your head. We will do 3 breath cycles and then we'll do an abdominal vacuum technique. So we'll inhale and expand the rib cage in all directions. Exhale and you're going to grow through the crown of your head. So inhale, breath number 2. Exhale slowly, growing through the crown of your head. We inhale for 3 to 4 seconds, and then we exhale slowly 6 to 8 seconds. At the end of this third exhale, fully release the air and come into that first abdominal vacuum, pressing the hands into the floor as you hold that for 6 seconds, growing through the crown of the head. We will do this for another cycle, so we'll inhale and exhale for 3 breaths, growing through the crown of your head on each exhale. This will be breath number 2. Inhale, expanding the rib cage in all directions. Exhale, grow through the crown of the head. And then we'll do one more breath here. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, 6 seconds, slowly releasing the air, and then coming to the abdominal vacuum as you hold your breath, pressing the hands into the floor and growing through the crown of your head. We'll inhale and exhale. This time we're going to do the same 3 breath cycle, but now our hands are going to be in this mid-chest position. Here, your fingertips are facing one another and the hands are in line with the shoulders. So 3 breaths here. Inhale, expanding the rib cage, and exhale slowly, growing through the crown of the head. 2 more breaths. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, slowly growing through the crown of the head on the exhale. And 1 more breath. Inhale, expand the rib cage. Exhale, fully release all of the air. Hold the breath. Open the rib cage to do the abdominal vacuum and slowly raise the arms up overhead while you're holding this vacuum. This is a 6-second hold. And then at the end of that 6 seconds, you'll inhale, and then on the exhale, bring the arms back to chest height. We'll do this for 2 more cycles, but this time we'll do 2 breaths. So inhale and exhale slowly, keeping those hands spread apart in line with the shoulders. At the end of the second inhale and exhale, you'll fully release the air, hold the breath, expand the rib cage, and in this apnea, you'll raise the arms up slowly overhead, keeping those hands spread wide and still growing through the crown of the head. This is a 6-second hold. And then at the end of this, we will inhale and exhale and bring the arms back to chest height. We'll repeat this for 1 more time, doing 2 rest breaths. So inhale, exhale, growing through the crown of the head. Inhale, expanding the rib cage in all directions. Exhale, slowly release the air. Come into apnea and bring the arms up overhead slowly, holding for 6 seconds. If you can't hold for 6 seconds, that's okay. Just do what you can. And then at the end of that, we'll inhale and exhale and lower the arms overhead into this high Y position. Here we'll do 2 breaths. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly. At the end of the second breath, we'll come into another apnea. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, slowly release the air. Come into apnea. And here you're just getting a nice long stretch, growing through those fingertips, pressing the heel into the mat, holding for 6 seconds. We'll repeat this 1 more time with 2 breaths. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Inhale 4 seconds. Exhale slowly 6 to 8 seconds. Fully release the air here. Come into apnea and grow through those fingertips and the crown of the head, just trying to elongate the fascia as much as you can for a 6-second hold. We'll inhale, exhale, bring the arms back down to the floor. Now we're going to move to our hands and knees. In this position, the hands are as wide as the mat, the fingertips are facing one another, the toes are planted, and the weight is shifted slightly forward. In this position, we'll do 3 breaths followed by an apnea. So we'll inhale, expand the rib cage, and exhale, you're growing through the crown of the head. Inhale, breath number 2, slowly exhale, 6 seconds, growing through the crown of the head. And 1 more breath, inhale, expanding the rib cage, exhale, growing through the crown of the head. At the end of this exhale, come into apnea and hold this for 6 seconds. And here you're just thinking about growing through the crown of your head, elongating the spine. Then we'll inhale and exhale, and on the exhale, you're going to round the head and look at the belly button. And we'll just do 1 more breath here. Inhale, exhale fully, and we'll come right back into apnea. So fully exhale, come into apnea, and hold this for 6 seconds. Growing through the crown of the head, still looking at the belly button or between the legs. Then we'll inhale, exhale, and come right back into apnea, holding for another 6 seconds. Eyes are gazing between the legs, growing through the crown of the head. At the end of that 6 seconds, we'll inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to transition to the seated position. In this position, our feet will be crossed, our ankles will still be flexed back and active, our hands will be placed on the front of the knee, and the spine is stacked with the ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips. We'll do 3 breaths followed by apnea. So inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale and growing through the crown of the head. Inhale slowly for 3 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 to 8 seconds. This is the 3rd breath. At the end of this breath, you're going to exhale fully, come into apnea, and our hands are going to press into the front of our knees and grow through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. And then we'll inhale and exhale. And we're going to repeat this again, this time for 2 breath cycles. So inhale for a count of 4 seconds, exhale for a count of 8 seconds, growing through the crown of the head. Inhale again, 3 to 4 seconds, exhale slowly, 6 to 8 seconds. Fully release the air on this exhale and come into apnea. We're going to press the hands into the knees and grow through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. Then we'll inhale and exhale. Now we're going to transition to our hands being placed in this position, fingertips facing one another. We'll do 2 breath cycles here. The elbows are slightly bent into a barrel hugging position of the arms. 2nd breath, exhale fully, release the air, and come into apnea. And the hands are going to press into the thighs as you grow through the crown of the head, elongating the spine, holding for 6 seconds. Then we're going to stay in this seated position. We'll do 2 breaths. We'll inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, slowly growing through the crown of the head. The end of that exhale, you'll come right back into apnea. And we're going to raise the right arm up to chest height, pressing the left hand into the thigh for a 6-second hold. And then we'll inhale and exhale, lower the arm back down. We're going to come straight back into apnea. So hold the breath, open the rib cage, and this time we'll raise the arm up overhead, pressing the left hand into the thigh, growing through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. Then we'll inhale, exhale, lower the right arm back down. We're going to repeat this with the left hand. We're going to do 2 breaths. So inhale, exhale slowly. At the end of the 2nd breath, so we'll inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale slowly, release the air, hold the breath. Expand the rib cage to come into apnea and raise the left arm up to chest height, holding for 6 seconds, pressing the right hand into the right thigh. We'll hold that for 6 seconds. Then we'll inhale, exhale, lower the arm back down. We'll come straight back into apnea. Fully release the air, expand the rib cage, and hold this as you raise the left arm up overhead, keeping the elbow slightly bent and the hand is pressing up towards the ceiling while the right hand presses into the thigh. We'll inhale, exhale, lower the hand back down. Then we'll do 1 more apnea with the hands in front of the knees. So we'll do 1 breath in between. Inhale and exhale. At the end of that exhale, come into apnea and press the hands into the front of the knees as you grow through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. Then we'll do 1 more apnea with the hands in this position. So come right back into apnea. Press the hands into the thighs as you grow through the crown of the head, holding for 6 seconds. And this will be our last pose of this flow. I hope this has been a great flow for you in those early postpartum weeks to get back into working out a bit. Thank you so much for joining, and please watch the rest of my videos to progress back into that functional strength that you had before baby.